From Hollywood, California, welcome to Reza Rifts with your host, Keith Reza.
All right. Hey, Rifters, welcome to the show. We got the great Franchie San Pedro here. And you have a computer virus, so now you have to do it on your phone.
Yeah, I have to do it on my phone, and I'm just worried that somebody might be knocking on my front door, FBI or something. The way
Right.
things are going lately.
I thought you were going to accuse me of sending you the computer virus.
No, I mean, is it your fault? No.
No, I don't know. You got the email from me, and
Yeah, as soon as I got the email from you, I went ahead and did what I needed to do. And then all of a sudden, it just, my computer shut itself down, you know?
Franchi, like I got this new mic stand, and I swear to God, because I did 2 other interviews today, it worked, and now it's not working. So I think there's something about you.
It's me. I'm fully
It has
virused.
to be you.
Yeah, well,
Because look, I'm gonna let go of it, and it's just gonna go straight down.
Oh, you see, that's age, my friend. That's
What
age.
is going on? I just bought this.
That is definitely age.
So how are you, buddy?
I'm good. Working as much as I can.
Thanks for taking time to talk to me. I've been wanting to get you on for a while, and I actually speak very highly of you if you listen to the show, which I know you don't.
No,
but,
I would, but my computer has a virus.
Yeah, your computer has a virus. But the Rifters, who are the listeners, the Rifters know because I don't know. I would say about the past 4 or 5 months, I've been going in it deep about when I first started in comedy, or like,
Right.
and the Rifters know you were one of those guys that our paths ran into, and I've always had much love and respect for you because I booked a sports bar.
Yeah.
And you came all the time, and I have no idea why, because that was the shittiest gig in the world.
No, actually, it wasn't shitty at all. A lot of times I'll do gigs because the people that run them are good people, and you're one of those good people. I saw that way early in your career, and anything I could do to help you to this day, not tomorrow, but to this day, I will do to help you. Yeah, tomorrow's a different story.
I ruined it with this whole virus thing.
Well, if you keep remembering, if you keep reminding me of it, then yeah, I'll just call it the Reza virus.
The Reza Rifts virus.
Yeah, here we go.
That'd be actually a cool name for a virus.
Yeah, if you want to be named after a virus, I think we have enough evil people in the world we can name viruses after.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Speaking of evil people, like I've had, like, I don't want to say names, but I probably will because of my no filterness. So
that's one good thing about you, Keith. I love that about you. Ask you enough times, you'll forget you said no.
Yeah. But so I was supposed to do this Latino TV show with Pablo Francisco like 3 months ago.
Oh yeah?
And you know what's, before I tell you this story, a lot of people have like huge like, I guess they don't believe that I'm Latino. And it's like, because I'm white or whatever, and it's like, no, there's Latino in me. Reza is a Latino last name, you know what I mean?
I get that.
A lot of people don't believe me. So it's
a lot of people don't believe me, so
Yeah. So it's like I think this Latino TV show I'm talking about. It's at the Ice House. What's it called? Los Mocos, yes.
No. Los Mocos is snot. It's Los Mocos.
Los Mocos.
Más locos.
Either way, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, right? I know exactly. I did the show.
You did it?
Yes.
Was it fun?
I had a blast. I mean, and it's out now. It just came out on the 4th, I think, of April, and I've gotten a lot of good feedback from it, so I love that.
Oh.
Will you Mike Caliber produced it, and Jeff Garcia helped me get it. So
yeah. Will you send me your episode after this? I would love to watch
it. Yeah, I'll send it to you.
Yeah. So Pablo Francisco was hosting it, I don't know. I know Jeff's involved, but Pablo, because I open up for Pablo on the road,
right?
And so Pablo got me in, and then I lost the spot to another
I'm listening.
yeah, this story gets nuts. So then I lost the spot to this another comedian who apparently is more Latino than me, and I know this other comic, and uh Franchi, I don't even talk about being Latino on stage because I believe that it's one of those things where I feel that I understand Latino comics who do it, but I feel that my autism is probably more important than my my
That defines you more than being Latino.
yeah,
And
yeah,
Latino is a sub part of you.
exactly. And being Latino is very, very small. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it's not big enough where I need to. So that's the point. And then this other comic, I've seen this. Like I go on the road with this comic. This comic doesn't even talk about being Latino. He's not even Latino. So like I was very confused, right? But I think he got on the show because Pablo, whatever. So then I got the redate, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be great. And then Paul Rodriguez is co-hosting it, right? And I
Right.
was like, well, I love Paul, but I used to open up for Paul and I lost my job because his new opener, who shall remain nameless because I don't want more drama, but you know who I'm talking about,
Yeah. Yeah.
the biggest diva in comedy, right? And now I got a call that I lost my spot because of him. So I'm just thinking, dude, I wish I could be like that. You know what I mean? But I'm never like that.
Well, maybe you should just invest in buying a poncho or a Pendleton.
Right, yeah, I know. So then the guy said, "We'll put you up in June or July." And I was like, "That's cool." But I just feel I'm starting to what I'm trying to say is I don't feel karma exists because I feel people who do bad stuff to me, they're getting on the TV before me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but karma does exist. It just takes some times to get it. And sometimes, I mean, I used to go out with this girl, and she goes, "What about karma?" I go, "What if I am your karma?" And
Oh,
so
that's a good line.
yeah, I just changed it around, like made it like I am your karma lady.
Yeah.
I was gonna cuss, but I'm not sure if I can.
No,
So
do whatever you want.
yeah, fuck you, bitch. I am your karma. Anyway, no, I'm Latino and I'm Cuban. I'm more Latino than I'm first generation American. And but I do stuff that's Latino
Right.
in the show, but only because it relates to me right now. It doesn't define me. When I first started, there was a lot of Latino rooms, and I did them for a while, and I loved it. But I didn't want to pigeonhole myself in
Right.
just being a Latino comic. I want to be a comedian,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it is there's no you know preempt to that as saying, a Cuban comic or this or that. I mean, sometimes I wish I did because I'd probably get further and then I'd stop. I think you go just so far, and then if you don't really live it
Right.
every day, you're an imposter. I mean, I'm very Americanized, obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you know,
But you also like, even though I know you are, but you also have that thing where I don't think you are Latino. You know what I mean? But I'm
right, right.
not saying it but
No, no,
yeah.
it's not a bad thing. I mean, there's a lot of people that don't believe I'm Latino because of the way I look. Now I look more Latino now with a beard,
Right.
but when I'm clean shaven and so I just look like some.
Stunt double.
Yeah, it could be that. Yeah, it's not double, or just, I look more homeless. But the thing is that
I
I,
actually do like the beard look on you because
well, thank you.
when I knew you, you didn't have a beard. And
No,
that's another thing I was saying is like comedy is one of those things where like cuz when you and I hung out, I felt we were pretty good friends, like really
yeah,
good friends. And then we didn't see each other for like 12 years.
no,
So,
I'd see you, but I'd run. No, um,
no,
yeah,
but we didn't
because
hang
you're in
out.
Orange County, and I see you more now,
Yeah, yeah.
like
But
at
like
the
our
Laugh
past
Factory and
never
places
did.
like no,
But that's what I'm saying. Like our
yeah.
past never really. I just
But
find it so fascinating.
I think it's very fascinating because in comedy you have friends, and then we do our own stuff, and we might not see each other for a long time. I have a very close friend now. There was a very close friend back then, a writer, um, Glenn Ravney, and I didn't see him forever.
Right.
And then I brought him back into comedy a few years ago, just to piss him off, I think, because he hates stand up. The minute he stands up there, he wants a race to the end. He
Yeah.
just wants it over with. But he's a great writer. I mean, he's written a lot of stuff. And
What was his name again?
Glenn Rabney.
Glenn Rapp. It does
Yeah.
sound very familiar.
Yeah, he was in the Mickey Mouse Club. He did specials. He's written his own stuff that he's produced. He's got a wonderful little thing that I'm watching right now that he's doing. It's fabulous,
Yeah. So
But
he's had a way better career than Barry Sobel.
Yeah, without the alcohol. And oh, I'm sorry, did I say that?
The Rifters know I hate Barry Sobel, so
Well, I can see your point there. I like Barry. I just wish he would take better care of himself.
yeah.
It's like anybody else. I mean, I have no ill. The people that I did have ill for, they're dead. So it doesn't
Was it
bother me.
Norm?
No, none of your friends. None of your
okay.
friends.
Did you ever hang out with Norm or not really?
No, I never had the opportunity to. I met him a couple times. I think he's very funny. You've had an incredible opportunity with all these comics that are, well, they're past now, but they helped you along and they mentored you in a way, which is awesome. Because I think you're a very funny guy. I mean, I watch you and sometimes, and you've grown so much since the first time I saw you.
Well, there's also a difference between sports bar comedy and comedy club comedy.
You think?
Yeah, but people don't get that.
No, hell no. I love when people go, "Oh, I killed at this bar." I go, "Yeah, okay."
But
I did an hour. I go, "What, of yelling back and forth about drinks?"
Yeah. But I kind of do when I do see someone kill at a sports bar, I think to myself, all right, it's so weird because it could be, I could think, okay, this is going to be a good comic at a comedy club. And then at a comedy club, they bomb so bad. So it's like two different sandwiches. You know what I mean?
It isn't. But here's what I've always done, because I started in bars, in little places like that. Well, I started at the Comedy Store, but I'd go to bars because when you're a doorman, you don't get up
right
as much as you want to. So you go to bars, you do all these stuff. And what I did was basically, like, if you run with weights on your ankles, when you take them off, you sprint. You're doing good. So I always figured when I did these bars, all I did was I honed my material, but I didn't keep it bar type. I didn't keep it bar type on the regular comedy stage.
Yeah.
I'd sophisticate it to a certain point. And I mean, because I grew up with hecklers, man. I mean,
like
pure
hardcore.
Hardcore. Jeff Wayne and Bob Zaney put me at Lamppost Pizza, which is way before your time. And it was over in Covina, West Covina. And it was a big crowd, and they'd sing you off if they didn't like you.
Right.
So you had to be on it, and the first time he brought me there, Jeff goes, well, I'll give you a slice of pizza and a beer and see what happens. And he figured I would only do like 2 minutes at the most because everybody's getting killed. I went up and did 25. Wow. And I mean, I just like banged it out, and that gave me the edge that I feel now, because I think differently. The minute I think of a joke or I think of something, I keep honing it and breaking it down to as less words as I can use. And I only do that because in bars, you had to get to the point now.
Yeah.
They're not going to sit there and listen to your goddamn fucking story. They don't care. They got their own novellas going on,
I wanted to ask you during that time, because now 25 minutes, like, I feel is pretty easy and normal for a set for guys like me, right? But back then, I guess the question is, was 25 minutes, like, did that feel like an hour back then? Because now you could do that in your sleep. But back then...
No, it didn't feel like an hour. The only time it ever felt like an hour is if it wasn't going over.
Right.
And it could have been an hour. An hour. If you really were on an hour, it'd be like a lifetime of death.
Yeah.
I mean, because there's rooms that I pride myself. I'm pretty good now at it. But back then, hit and miss. Jeff Garcia will tell you it was Mr. October or December, or whatever, Mr. September, whatever the baseball thing is called, because I would hit, and then sometimes it'd be like they wanted to kill me,
Right.
and I just kept going.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's like with you. There's plenty of times I'm sure you felt like going, fuck it, that's it, I'm done.
Oh, dude, I do it all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, but like part of the reason why I do it, because there's a point, there's also a difference between working and working on something.
Yeah.
And when I'm working, like I never do a show purposely to bomb. You know what I mean?
I don't think anybody does.
No, they don't. But I think people have that illusion sometimes, and maybe it's my association with Norm. I don't know, that they think that I do purposely bomb, but I really don't.
I used to watch Richard Pryor at the store, and Richard would go up and he would lose the audience for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, bad. And then he just get them.
Yeah.
Just that's it. They're in the same. So by watching him, I would purposely see if I could do the same thing. If I could just not have the audience and then bring them back. And I got to the point where I could do that.
Yeah. And see, that's what I'm trying to say, is because there is something very funny about when people aren't laughing. And I think people don't get that. You know what I mean?
Well, you have to be comfortable with silence.
Yeah.
Because on stage, you want to kill you want to sit back and just enjoy what the people are taking, but that's not the way it really works.
Yeah.
Because if you go too fast, you step on your own lines.
Yeah. You know who's really good at silence is Barry Sobel.
You are going to get me in so much fucking trouble.
No.
Yeah, no, he is. He should be good at silence. He's been doing it for 25 years. By now, it's just the voices in his head that he hears. But he's gonna kick my ass.
He's not gonna listen to this because he hates me. So
does he? Oh, good.
Oh, there's drama there, buddy. And
I can see it happening. He's very difficult, and it's a shame because I knew him when he was at the store at the height of his career. It was a couple weeks there, and he was doing real good.
Yeah.
And then he just started fucking himself over.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, but he's got a skateboard company, and he's doing all that stuff. So he's alive and he's well, but I don't see him anymore. And every once in a while, I go to Universal Bar and Grill because I forget it sucks.
Right.
And I go there, and he'll be there hanging out.
That is a tough room, though.
It's not even a room, because the problem is that it would be a great room. Yeah. But so much shit's going on, and they don't really they let the comics do their stuff on Mondays or whatever, but it's just to fill the room. They don't really care what we do.
Right. Yeah. It's just
it's
about getting more people. Yeah.
And it's a shame because it would be a great little workout room if it was packed. Because I've been there where it's packed, and then I'll go, oh, maybe it'll be packed tonight, and I'll go there and go, I ain't getting no booty call tonight, because they ain't working. So,
do you think because back in your day, it was probably acceptable comics dating each other because, you're in the same field and all that stuff. But now it's not really acceptable. Like, have you noticed? It was
acceptable back then.
It wasn't?
Well, I never believed in that.
Oh, okay.
That's why I've been married 3 times, but because I picked out so much better.
Right.
But I see comics that are married to each other.
Yeah.
And secretly, which one's funnier.
Oh, yeah.
And usually it's not the guy.
Really? Oh,
yeah,
my God.
Usually not.
Watchy.
I love women comics. I think they're very funny. And some are just as bad as the men are.
Right.
But men have a more tendency when they start to talk about their dick, talk about pussy, and talk about drugs. Those 3 things are what makes them no comedy.
Right.
Stretch to something else.
Yeah.
They're all jokes about this or that, but it's the way you present them that makes them funny or not funny and not filthy.
Yeah.
I have nothing. I don't. You know, Schimmel was very filthy, but fucking hilarious.
Robert Schimmel.
Yeah, Robert
Yeah.
Schimmel.
Yeah. You
Is
gotta
there another
explain.
Schimmel I'm not aware of?
No, just sometimes the folks at home don't know
Oh,
who
I'm sorry.
Schimmel. Yeah.
Yeah, and hilarious. But he worked on that, and he was sick, but he was funny. You know.
Yeah.
And then there's comics that go up there, and every other word is fuck this, fuck that. That's the joke, and that's not the joke. That's not the punchline.
Right.
You know. Um,
Do you ever think like when a comic does that, like because this isn't now we're not even talking about one specific comic. We're talking about a lot of comics where they do that. And I find sometimes maybe they're doing it because it might be a genius because they start cursing like that. And then the punchline is the word that they're not cursing. You know what I mean?
yeah, I know what you're saying. I'm one of those comics that let go. I don't care.
Right.
So I don't really pay attention unless you're a friend. I go, hey man, try to do this instead of that, or try
Yeah.
this instead of that. I never tell people they're wrong. You know, my
It,
uncle,
you have always been nice about that.
yeah,
Like,
because I want you to succeed. I want anybody that's in this field to succeed. I love
I'm the
comics.
opposite. I tell people immediately when they're wrong.
Well, that's because your filter's gone. You know, I
Like,
mean, apparently I have ADHD or whatever. I don't have time to figure out what the letters are. But anyway, I'm pretty sure I have that.
you definitely have ADHD.
You think so?
Oh yeah, I'm
Everybody
diagnosed.
tells me that. I
Yeah.
never knew that until a couple of years ago when I met a friend of mine, and she has it, and she goes, "No, you have it," and I go, "Oh, I don't."
You
But every
don't
once in a while,
you don't realize you have something until you meet somebody who's on the same level as you, and then you
no,
kind of so it's kind of like that. So I can understand why you don't think you have it, but you definitely I think a lot of comics do have ADHD too because
a lot
like
of people have ADHD
but
or whatever.
I just know comics because I don't talk to people. You know what I mean?
There's a world out there. You should go and look.
Yeah, I'm too scared.
Yeah.
I'm
You're doing so much better than when I first met you, dude. Seriously. But
really?
I saw funny in you then.
Yeah.
And you were very, and you still are. You're very dedicated to what you do. And I think that's an enormous uh, attribute that you have.
Oh, well,
You know,
thanks, Franchi. But I will say this: I do agree. I am very dedicated and I work my ass off. But I could always work harder, and that's
we
the
all
thing.
can. We all can.
That's the thing that when I was young, it was a lot easier because I could do like 6 or 7 sets a night. Now it's kind of like I kind of don't enjoy doing open mics, and I think you could understand that because my humor doesn't really relate to that.
No, they
I
don't have time to listen because what they want is quick, 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 quick. And you're setting them up. Every joke you do is a setup for the next joke.
Yeah, it's
I've
like a
noticed that.
spider web.
Yeah, so
So
it's a great thing.
so I don't enjoy, and I also don't really like networking with comics that much because I've been doing this so long that a lot of comics have actually hurt me, like emotionally, verbally, and it's just not a good feeling for me to, ooh, how have you been? Because it's also like you don't really care. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's the
Well, I can honestly say that I care about the people that I care about in comedy, other comics.
yeah.
But then there's some people that I just like fucking drop dead, dude. I don't care.
Right,
You know.
yeah. I
And
mean,
I know that sounds
I want to go
terrible.
to that extent, but I know what you're saying, where it's like,
Well, I would.
oh, okay.
I would. Because I'm that way. Because if I see any evil in you, I don't want to deal with you.
Yeah,
You know, every comic in the world will tell you where you fucked up. Very few will tell you how to not to fuck up.
yeah, that's
You
true.
know, and I want to be one of those comics to everybody I meet, the young comics, old comics. I know a lot of comics that are my age in my category of not my category
Your
because
class, let's say class.
my class. They just are so fucking assholes to young comics, and they don't remember what it was like when people were, shitty to them when they were coming up.
Right.
I mean, I have he's dead, so it doesn't make a difference. Gary Shandling, you know, one night I wanted to tell him, you know, I walked up to him, I was working the store. I go, hey, and he goes, I know, you want to tell me I'm great and everything else. And I go, nope, I just want to tell you your hair looks like shit. Because he had a bad thing with his hair. And
Right.
because he acted that way, it was like, fuck off, man. You know, when I see a young comic, I approach them. If I think they're funny, I approach them and go, hey, man, that was very funny. Maybe you should try doing this at the end or a tag if you want to. If you don't want to, I'm cool with that. And they go, oh,
Yeah.
no, that's great. And I try to help all the people that I see because they're not going to steal me. I'm
Right.
Franchi, you know, and I know that sounds big headed, but no, I have my own style. And
I get that though.
if somebody tries to do my style, they're not going to do it because they're not me. They might steal a joke or two,
Right.
you know, but they're not going to steal my essence.
Are you scared about jokes being stolen, or do you not really care?
I don't care because
Yeah.
I come up, I will go on stage 5 or 6 times a night and do completely different material
Yeah.
that I just wrote before
Right.
because I go up there with a lot of balls, a lot of confidence. And really in this game, if you have confidence, whether your character's demeaned or outlandish or whatever, if you go up there with confidence, you're going to sell your product. You're a
Oh,
salesman up there.
for sure. Confidence. I always tell people because like I kind of teach comedy, or I used to, but I always tell people that it doesn't necessarily mean if you're funny. If you're confident that you're funny, you'll probably succeed.
Look at all the jokes that we listen to, and we go, "Why the fuck does that work?" Even
Yeah.
I'll re-listen to my shit and go, "That's not. What the fuck are they laughing at? They're laughing at my cadence. They're laughing at my timing. They're laughing at my expressions.
Right.
It's not necessarily a joke because I write throwaway lines all the time,
Yeah.
you know, in my head, and I go, oh, and I got to write them down, you know, especially if I'm high. Oh God, you know, I
Yeah.
gotta walk
You're
around.
sober now, though, right?
Well, I don't drink,
Yeah.
but I have an edible or two
That
every.
that that doesn't count. I'm
No,
talking
no,
like
because
the
it's
other
yeah, no,
stuff.
no,
Oh,
yeah. I don't do anything else. I stopped drinking basically because I just didn't feel good. You know,
right.
I felt bloated and all that stuff, and I lost a lot of weight because I was plumping up because of the alcohol,
Right.
and then I changed my eating habits and everything else. But no, I don't drink anymore. I don't do any drug except pot, and I
Right.
don't smoke pot because I don't like coughing.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Who?
not.
Yeah. I mean, girls don't even like coughing. Haha.
Well, that's because they choke a lot more than we do, unless you have a different lifestyle. And
Exactly.
anyway,
Like Barry Sobel's lifestyle.
I'm sorry. Every time you do that, I just think of it. I think of him standing next to me, going, "Can I go on before you?"
No.
Uh,
No, here's the thing. Like, I mean, all the Rifters kind of know the stories, but like, I don't really. It's a long story, but I'll just like give you a quick version. We were on the same tour with Norm, and Barry claimed he was Tom Hanks's best friend or
how did
whatever.
Norm not kill him?
Norm hated him.
I was gonna say.
Norm hated Barry Sobel, and Sobel thought they were like the best friends. But oh my God, Norm Norm told me that Barry Sobel is the only comic in history that Johnny Carson immediately said, "Come to the couch," because he didn't want to hear him talk. And Norm was like, so it got in his head because he's like, "Oh, I'm the best comic," I got a standing ovation the second I came out.
Those people are just getting ready to walk out. That's all.
Yeah. And Norm was like, Johnny just didn't want to hear a gay guy do comedy or something. And like he's doing all this. But
Wait,
so
wait, wait, wait. He's gay?
yeah.
That's
So
news to me.
that's what, so then like Barry and I got into a huge massive like encounter, and I won't
I
go
was
over
gonna
the
say I'm sorry. I was gonna say out of the mouth of babes, you would hear that. Anyway, go on. Uh,
yeah. So we got into a huge encounter, and it got so bad where Norm actually kicked me off the tour, and he chose Barry because Norm wanted Tom Hanks on his Netflix show,
yeah.
and Barry promised Norm he could get Tom
How'd
Hanks.
that work out?
And that's what I'm saying. I said, Norm, I don't know Tom Hanks, but I have a better chance of getting you Tom Hanks than a guy who supposedly knows him. And Norm's like, well, they're best friends and all that stuff. I was like, he's not going to do it because you're my best friend. And people ask me all the time to have you do their podcast. I never do it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
So
no. You can talk. I mean, if you're good friends with somebody, you can go, "Hey, man, I'm doing this thing. You want to hang out?" But you don't tell people, "Hey, do this, do that," because it just doesn't work.
it doesn't
And you
work.
know, Tom
But,
Hanks is easily made friends with if you give him a typewriter, because
right.
he takes those typewriters and he
But,
gives them to other people.
yeah. And that was the plan. I was going to say, because Chris, his last name's, I'm having a brain fart. He hosted Nerdist. He's on The Walking Dead. Chris.
Titus?
No, it's not
No, not
Titus.
Titus.
Hardrick. Is that his last name? Fuck.
Hendrick? I don't know.
Hendrick. Chris Hendrick. Yeah.
Yeah, Chris Hendrick.
He got Tom Hanks on his show because that's how he did it with the
Typewriter.
Yeah. So I kind of knew Barry was just fucking bullshitting, but the encounter got so bad that Norm actually, I mean, he still paid me the rest of the tour, but I was suspended, and it just sucked because that 1 year just when you're touring with your hero, because ever since I started, Norm was my favorite comic. So when you're touring with someone like that, it's not really about the money, it's about you still want to do the shows and learn. You know what I mean?
You know, it's fun to get paid, but when you get to do shows with people that you admire,
That's the best.
there's no amount of money that's going to make it better.
Oh yeah, for
You
sure.
know, I mean, I like to eat when I'm sitting down with the other comics, but I never worried about that. I was more like, I was fortunate enough because when I started the store and stuff, I met a lot of wonderful, great comics that I enjoyed.
You opened for Kennison, didn't you?
No, and I didn't open for Kennison. No,
Oh,
I wouldn't open for him. He asked, and I go, no, it's all right, because I saw a lot of other guys opening for him, but they were just filler. It wasn't like you and Norm,
right.
where people are there to listen. All it was waiting for him to get high enough to come out on stage, and
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm.
How come
Maybe I didn't
thought,
make a mistake. I don't know.
How come?
Because I hung out.
Oh, you
because
did
I hung
hang
out there. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was at the store and hung out with them. And Dice and I would talk as well, and a lot of other comics. I used to open in backyard parties for bands that are major now.
Yeah. See, your style back then, and I'm just judging by your style now, but your style back then would probably be a good fit with Dice Clay, right? Like that.
Probably.
Yeah. So that's
One of the times I got fired from the Comedy Store was because I got fired a lot.
How many times did you get fired, Franchie?
About 7 times.
What?
Yeah. One of the times I got fired was Dice was on the main room, right? He's killing. This is the height of, and nobody wanted to follow him. And I wasn't approved to go anywhere but where I was.
Right.
And I just walked up on the main stage and started talking. And I killed.
You killed?
Yeah,
oh
I
my
killed.
God.
Because I came down hard on Dice's act.
Right.
And then, that's the night that Pryor came up to me. The room was closed. I used to walk into comedy rooms after the show and just sit in the dark and think of the show,
Right.
and thank the stage or whatever. Could have blamed it on all the cocaine, but anyway.
I think stages.
You don't do cocaine.
Yeah.
But I was in the main room, and Pryor, I didn't know was behind me.
Uh-huh.
And he said, this is the first time I met him. And he goes, you did real well tonight. And I go, And I was arguing because I didn't know who it was. And I turned around, it was him. And I go, oh, thanks. And he goes, let me get you a beer. And I go, why? We both know neither one of us have to pay for it. Yeah. So we'll just sit down. And I sat down and talked to him. And it's the second time, that was the second time I actually met and talked to him. Because when I was a kid, I went to the Long Beach Forum or whatever there, And I went with a friend of mine who's no longer around, Malcolm Sands. He was my comedy buddy in high school.
Right.
And we went to go see Pryor. We were in the second row and the only white guys,
Oh my God.
and he looked more ethnic than I did because he had, a multi-brow and all this other shit. But, and afterwards we waited. He goes, he's gone. I go, no, he's not. He's here. Because back then they didn't have security like they have now,
Right.
and I'm over in the bushes waiting for the limousine. And all of a sudden he comes out and I'm running over there, and everybody else was over there. And I go, hey, will you sign my dollar bill? And he goes, nope. He kept
But he took the dollar.
But he took the dollar. So then I told him that story that night. And as I'm telling him, he takes out something and he's signing it, and it's $100 bill, and he hands it to me.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, goosebumps, right?
Yeah.
And I know there's people that have had lots more advantages with stars than I have, because I never want to bother anybody. That's my thing. And I should have learned to bother people. The only people I bought, Roseanne Barr, I used to bother a lot. But
Oh yeah.
that night that I did that, the next day I got called into the office, and Mitzi goes, hey, I heard you on the main stage last night. I go, yeah. And she goes, you did great, I heard. I go, yeah. And she goes, you're fired. I go, what? And she goes, you're not allowed up there without my permission, period.
Wow.
And I go, okay. So then I left.
You cried a little, right?
I cried a lot. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I was like,
you're acting all macho about the story. If that would have happened, you probably.
I was upset. And then like 3 days later, I get a call from Dean, and he goes, we need Mitzi needs a sandwich from what is it called? I forgot the deli over there on Fairview. Anyway, Kaplan's. And I go, well, I'm in Monrovia, because I've always lived in Monrovia. And he goes, you want your job back? You better come.
Yeah.
I jumped on my motorcycle, got the sandwich, came back, and it was like it never happened.
Oh my gosh.
Because Mitzi couldn't be mad at more than one comic at a time.
Right.
She was very good about that. I mean, it's like focused on one comic only.
Yeah. I was unfortunately in the class where when I first started, Mitzi was still there, but she was kind of like not really healthy and phasing out or whatever. And like if you see her, she says something and you think, oh, what? Like, is she mixing my, like, I didn't know she had the Alzheimer's and all that stuff. Like, this is just when I
was very fortunate, because I was there in the early 80s, and she's a remarkable woman. If it wasn't for her, I don't care. I mean, yeah. Did she do shitty things at times? Yeah. I don't know everything, but I know she did.
Right.
I was good friends with Sandy, her daughter, who's passed. But as far as I was concerned, even with the firings and everything else, even if I hated some of the things she did, she was still la patrona. She was still what made that place wonderful.
Right. Do you think the Comedy Store is still wonderful, or do you think like it's kind of?
I can't really give you an answer on that. Last time I set foot there was maybe. Oh, I was there. I went there a few years back when Tommy was running it, and that gave me a bad taste in my mouth right there, because he was an idiot.
Really? Okay.
But I hear good things, but it's more corporate now than it was back then. Back then, we had our own security, we had our own things, and I know why they can't do it now. I get it.
Right.
But everything was fed off of everything else. It was an animal that ate itself.
Right.
So didn't have to really do much of anything. And there's always some energy going on. It's always some energy. It was one of the most wonderful times of my life. I met a lot of people. I learned a lot. I learned a lot by watching good things and bad things happen, and I just, I stopped going there. I started working for Bob Zamuda productions with the comic relief and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I really got involved with that, and then I went back and forth,
But that's
So
how your life, because like there is no right way in comedy. So your lane went in that direction,
right.
and at the time it was probably a smart move for you.
Oh, at
You know,
that time, yeah.
yeah.
Because I
But
mean, I was getting gigs because when I first started, I took a class with Steve Bloomstein, and one day I realized that because I took the class because I just wanted to get the balls to go up on stage,
right.
you know, and then one class I went up to the Laugh Factory and did a set there, which Jamie turned off the lights on me because I wouldn't get off. Uh, and
You're
then
just bragging these great stories.
they're fantastic. I mean, I'm very blessed, and
Yeah.
everybody that's a comic is blessed because if they really absorb what they're going through, it's all a wonderful trip.
Right.
If you're into that. He turned off the lights on me, and I pulled out my Zippo and lit it, and then I just went off the cuff and just started talking. And then he came out and he goes, "Okay, you can come back, but next time I give you a light, get off." And I go, "Okay."
Yeah.
And he gave me a little more pointers and stuff like that. And then I just started doing my stand up. And then Fraser Smith was really kind
Oh,
to
Fraser's
me,
the best.
isn't he?
Oh,
Um, I, uh, I love Fraser. Fraser's one of the best guys in the business.
I wish Fraser, because I feel Fraser was super, super famous back then because how powerful the radio is. And I feel he never really adapted to like TV or whatever, but I feel like if he did, he'd have so much more power in
Well,
comedy.
yeah. And, I mean, you got to understand, I was listening to him when I was 11, 12 years old,
Yeah.
and matter of fact, I won a Doom buggy from the radio station, but I wasn't old enough to get it.
What?
So
Oh
yeah,
my
because you
God.
had to be 18. Um, Imagine that. Uh, but no, Fraser Stern stole shit from him.
Oh, I'm sure.
And seriously.
I'm being serious. I'm sure.
And he is, but
He
on
he,
the
pr-
other side of the
he
spectrum,
probably stole Barry Sobel's act too.
just gonna mention that. Uh, God damn it. I might as well just wear a shirt that says fuck Barry. Uh, you know. So I didn't realize this show was gonna be this way. I
It's fun.
have no problem. Look, dude, if anybody pisses people off, it's me.
Right.
I pissed off a lot of comics, and I really don't care. I mean, except for my friends. That if I piss off a friend of mine, then I chase after it to make sure I make it right. But
But do you
anybody
think
else,
do you think that that's a maturity thing though? Because like now you kind of know who are your friends and who aren't your
well,
friends.
if I knew then what I know now,
Right.
I'd probably be famous. Because I sure as hell burnt a lot of bridges.
There has to be a reason why though you did not get super super famous because you're very funny and comedy's in your blood. You know what I mean? So like that's kind of where I've always been kind of question marked about you because I think you're one of the funniest guys in the world where if I was an agent back then I would totally help you and like I'd help you now but you do have a question mark about you and I don't know why because you'd be super great if you were famous. You know what I mean?
Well, I think one of the things is
Maybe it's because you're not really an actor. I don't know.
my I can act. Uh, I can
Yeah.
act like I like Barry every time I see him. Shut up. No. I When I was young, I had this air about me like, fuck you. I'm
Right.
funny. I'm doing what I'm doing. Not realizing the pecking order.
Yeah.
People go, hey, I'm not fucking laying down for nobody. And to this day, I won't either.
Right.
But I just don't enforce it as much.
Right.
I keep to myself unless I know you. Not as much as you do, because you'll sit in the corner, wear your trench coat.
I don't talk to anybody.
I know that.
Like
I know that.
I mean, if we're tight, I'll say hi and stuff, but during a show,
Yeah.
it's about the show. We could
Yeah.
talk
No.
after the show or
No, I
whatever.
get you.
Yeah.
I
But
get you.
people think I'm a dick because I don't play that bullshit. It's like, dude, I'm here focusing on my jokes and I'm very competitive too on comedy. Like my goal in comedy is to be the funniest person on the show because I want the booker to realize he made a mistake not headlining me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you see, yeah, I know. I get that. I believe me, I get that very well.
Yeah.
Um, I now what I do is if somebody, and it happened about a week and a half ago. Somebody was giving me shit, some new comic. I mean, just giving me all sorts of shit, and I'm just taking it in. Went on stage, he even made fun of me because he didn't realize that I was a comic.
Right.
Well,
See, it backfires on him.
oh, it does. And I went on stage and ripped him an asshole,
Yeah.
in the first 2 minutes, and then I went on with my act. But I did it where it was funny. I tell people all the time, if you have anger in you, don't tell the joke
Right.
because it's not going to work. You're too close to it. Let it marinate.
But those situations can make you and this other comic actually closer because Richard Chasler did that to me about 13 years ago. And in the moment, I fucking hated him. I wanted to beat the fuck out of him, but he's one of my best friends now. So like it's
Rich is a
the,
good guy. He's kind of rough on the sides, but he's a funny guy.
but what I'm saying is like
Nice guy.
situations like this, they could be treasures in a weird
Well, no,
weird
if you treat it exactly what it is,
yeah.
because if you get together with a bunch of comics that are truly into the spirit of comedy,
Yeah.
and that's really what it is. If you're really dedicated to what you do, you go around the room with each other and you try to outdo each other. Like if I went on stage after you, I'm going to go, hey, you know what? I'm going to attack the system. I'm going to do better than you.
Yeah.
But I used to tell people all the time, I go, when I'm on stage, when you're looking at somebody on stage, they're borrowing your stage. Okay. It doesn't matter who's on before you. It doesn't matter who's on after you. It's your show at the time.
Right. It's
Your stage.
exactly.
And if you believe that, you'll get better, or you'll hang yourself
Which
or
could
jump off the building.
yeah, which could be funny sometimes.
Yeah, well, that's the last joke you get. And they missed it with a camera because Barry was asking to be on no camera. I've seen Barry stop a show going, put the camera down. I don't want any pictures. And I was like, nobody's taking your pictures. They're just looking at the stage going, wow, what a waste.
Yeah.
Now you
Uh,
got me doing it. God damn you.
but no, like I totally know what you're saying. Like one of my best friends is the great Stephen Allen Green, and
I love Steve.
yeah, and you and Stephen kind of have something in common about this question mark because he's a guy who's one of the funniest guys in the world, but you wonder how come he didn't blow up. And then when he went to London, he was like a megastar, and then when he came back, he's like, because I talked to him, and his issues will stay between me and him, but he's very kind of bitter about how his career's turned, and it's like I don't know how to explain it, but there has to be something about a comic where they either go for it and miss, or maybe they didn't realize they were
I
going.
was doing very well
Yeah.
back then. And what happened was I went through a divorce.
Okay, so that's the first divorce.
That's the first divorce.
Okay.
And I had to raise my children by myself.
Right.
So I had a choice. Either do what I'm doing and become more notoriety than I have now, or let my kids starve.
Right.
And my job was to watch my children and raise them.
Yeah.
So I would write for some comics. I would do gigs here and there, but I wasn't hitting it as hard as I could because I had to raise these kids.
Right.
And I'm careful how I say this to you because I don't want my kids to hear it and think that they held me back. It was my choice.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, it was my choice. And it's the best choice I ever made because they're wonderful kids. They're
Yeah.
wonderful human beings. And I'd rather have that under my belt and than that funny chicken joke, you
Right.
know. So that's what stopped me. There's other people that I talk to all the time, and they're so worried about what you are doing, not you, but generally speaking, what you're doing instead of what they're doing. They're bitching and complaining about this person making it without doing what they did and not, you know, paying the dues and all this other shit. And they don't realize,
You are talking about me.
no, I'm not. No, I'm not. And I hope not, because I don't see that in you. Comedy is an individual thing. Never rate your success by someone else's.
Oh, for sure.
You know, and there's a lot of comics that do. They get bitter and they go, "Oh, you know what? It happened in the past. Who gives a shit? Move on."
Right.
You know, just be funny. Nobody cares. Al Bamani has this little card that says, "Nobody cares. Just be funny."
Oh my God. How is Al doing? I haven't seen
He's
that
doing
guy.
great. I see him I go to the State House in Sunset on
Yeah.
Tuesdays because I love going there because every time I go there, I feel very free. I can talk about anything that's on my mind. And out of the 8 minutes, 10 minutes that I get, I'll pull a couple of gems for the next real show. Not real show, they're all real shows, but for the next club show,
Yeah.
you know. And I love being able to do that. And I see Al all the time because he helps run it with Joanne Scorsia, who, by the way, they're having a
The-
mob comedy thing in a week or so.
Is it like the double D's of comedy or
Yeah,
something?
yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. So Al is one comic who, when I first started, I wish I was a lot nicer to because he's actually a very good dude.
He is.
And
He's a decent man.
yeah, and I wasn't purposely a dick to him, but I could feel in my heart when I talked to him, I probably wasn't nice to him. And I wish I could take that back because Al really is such a good dude. And also maybe it's just my Asperger's getting in my head too. So maybe Al doesn't feel I was ever being a dick, but I feel in my heart when I talk to him. Like, you know how you could kind of feel like, I could have probably have done something or said something
That's the
nicer.
story of my life, Keith.
Yeah, yeah. But what I'm
I mean,
saying,
that's why I believe that I might have a little bit in my mind too, because I don't know about you, but sometimes I exaggerate problems in my own head,
yeah,
and I conjure them up and it's not even there. Uh, with Mel Garcia, right? I thought I pissed him off. And I knew that what happened was I was booked
right.
and then he never put me on the lineup on the flyer.
He does
So
that
I
to
said,
me all the time.
yeah, I know, and I go, okay. So he called me, he goes, where are you? And I go, well, I'm in another club because I didn't know I was doing the show. I told you, your dad just passed. Don't worry about me. We're good.
Right.
And he never answered me back
Yeah. He
for
hasn't
2 months. And now I talk to him all the time. He goes, no, if I was mad at you, I'd tell you. So I conjured all this bullshit in my head.
I'm going through that with Mel too. Mel is one of my best friends in comedy. Mel is probably the one guy in comedy I trust with everything because he's such a stand-up dude. He really is.
I know he is.
And I'm on usually like our friendship is like text back.
Yeah.
I've sent him 6 text messages. He's just leaving me on red. So I'm thinking, is he mad at me? But I know he's
No,
not.
he's just busy. I mean,
Yeah.
because I learned that the hard way. Because the only damage that happened out of that situation, I did to myself.
Right.
He had nothing to do with it. I was just like freaking out, thinking, what did I do wrong?
Yeah.
Because I used to go there once a month, twice, all the time. And now I'm back in, but I was not in because of me, not because of him.
Well, Mel told me he only can book because I've kind of made it more clear that I either want the headlining spot or I want a paid spot.
Yeah.
And so he kind of told me, he said, Keith, I love you, but if you want these spots, I only could book you once every 3 to 4 months.
Right. Well, what he
And-
does with me is he'll book me for a paid spot
Yeah.
and then he'll book me for non-paid spots, and I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't look.
But where I'm at, I can't do that. I have to do it for either the 25-minute spot or I have to do it for gas money. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because I'm trying to work on a new special, and it's so hard when you're working on a special because my first hour I think is the best thing I've ever done. The problem is when you do another special, I feel you should get it at the same level as that one because how many
At
specials have
least or better.
exactly
At
how many
least or better, because you don't want to. You know,
you don't want to bomb it.
no, because I mean, I'm not going to mention names. There's quite a bit of comics that are doing these little specials and stuff, and then they do the second one. And you go, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, it's like, dude,
Because you
I
know the
loved
thing
your
is if
first one.
yeah, and I I have hours of thought. I
Right.
say that purposely. Hours of thought. If I look them over, I can make them hours of material.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I love when I watch other comics go, "Oh, I'm going to do 35 minutes here," and then I go, "You don't even have 10, man." You
Right.
know, I mean, I've seen you do 10. It's a struggle. What are you doing?
Yeah.
You know, but if I like the person, and I like almost everybody. I just I'm a dandelion. Blow on me, I spread. So
Right.
the thing is that I'll help you. Like if you're doing need help to bounce ideas off of, please do that with me. It doesn't matter who it is, because I have one thought in my head every day, other than eating and taking care of my family, is comedy. Period. You
Yeah.
know, if I wish when I was growing up that I wasn't belittled so much by other people, and nobody supported what I did.
Right.
You know, nobody.
Yeah.
Um,
Do you think they'd support it now, or do you think back
I don't
then?
even know. I don't even care.
Right.
It doesn't. That doesn't cross my. Remember, don't look back.
Right.
Except what can enrich you. So I've been very fortunate. There's been people in my life that are comics that have helped me. You know, just by being a friend
Right.
and believing. You know, there's nothing more satisfying than someone that's up there going, "Hey, Keith, that was funny shit."
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that makes you feel great.
Yeah.
But by making you feel great, it also sparks your originality. It sparks your imagination,
Mhm.
because when you feel supportive, you'll go that extra mile to be even better.
Right.
You
And
know,
maybe that's with me where like I don't have that because like with Norm, for example, if I did good, he hardly showed I did good. You know what I mean?
it's
And
like John Lennon and Paul McCartney. Yeah,
yeah,
that's an okay song.
dude, I'll tell you one thing is like I toured with Norm for 9 years, and in my heart I feel I did better than him twice. And I feel on those two shows, because I remember those two shows specifically, I feel he kind of let me do better than him. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no,
Where
no. In other words, he didn't do his all.
no, like I think he knew I was on fire and he wanted me to have that
That's a very kind thing to do.
that's what I'm saying.
No,
Like,
that's extremely kind to do, because you know, I um I have a few comics that I help all the time that are new,
yeah,
and I could step on them. I can step on a lot of comics. I'm very quick when it comes to fucking you up,
right.
you know, and I choose not to because they're good people
Yeah, yeah.
and they're not going to learn that way. You know, I'll take somebody on, into a show, bring them with me, and they're supposed to do 5 minutes. I make them stretch to 10 because I want them to grow. And nobody's going to grow with this situation now in LA area and everything, where they don't cultivate comics anymore.
Right.
You know, they just go, we don't care where you do it, but don't do new shit here. And
Yeah.
and what I do is I go up with so much confidence. Nobody realizes that I've never done that joke before,
Right.
you know, and that helps me too. Because if I have new jokes, new ideas, because I don't even know if I have jokes, I just talk. But if I have something new, I do it right in the beginning, because you
Yeah.
want to look good. You want to make it hard. You're happy about this. It's like going on a date. The first couple of times you want to show that date off. Oh, look at this. Yeah, this is great. And then
Yeah.
after about a month or so, you're going, whatever.
Then you want to fuck her up the ass.
Well, yeah, I have to wait in
Yeah.
line like anybody else, but yeah, uh, you know,
But no, like that's what comedy is. You know,
yeah.
you impress a girl, take her out, and then,
I tell people all the time, pretend when you go on stage, this is a date, and you
Right.
want that date to fuck you at the end.
For sure.
You know, and if you go up there, I mean, unless you're getting a pity fuck, it's not going to happen unless you're funny.
Yeah.
You know, I saw a comic the other night. He brought 2 women with him, friends of theirs, and I've never seen him kill. That night, he was on fire.
Really?
Yeah, on fire.
Oh, that's
I'll tell you
awesome.
later who it is because you know who it is. But on fire, and I had to follow him, and I'm sitting in the back of my head going, "When's he ever been this funny? What the hell happened?" You know. And I went up and did my stuff, and I did fine. But I'm happy to see that. I want to see. Nobody wants to see you bomb. Well,
Really?
there might be people like that, but I don't want to see anybody bomb. I want to see them kick ass. I want a show to be highlighted. I don't want everyone to oh, that one guy, man, he stunk the fucking place up. You never want to hear that. You want to be part of a successful show.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, I have one more thought, and then I'll ask my final question for you. But my opener for the past, I don't know, year, I've been trying to mentor him. I think he's a good guy, like, but you know, he's done some stuff that is kind of shady, so that's not why I don't really work with him anymore, because I think that mistakes happen. But I always say he has this one joke about killing a dog with an ice pick, and it's not that it's not funny, it's that I feel it's doesn't work in comedy because a dog is a man's best friend. And if you're gonna kill an animal, you should probably kill a cat. You know what I mean? Like, so
But cats are better security than dogs. You know that, right?
that's why I think it would work better.
Yeah,
So
because I mean, yeah.
yeah, so I said I told him, I was like, hey, you could continue doing that joke. I'm never gonna tell someone don't to drop a joke. But as long as you're working with me, don't do that joke, because if I'm following a dog killing joke, you know, it's not that I can't do it. It's just I don't want to have to do it.
You don't want that barrier.
Yeah,
you want to climb over that bump, that speed bump.
Yeah, because
You know.
I'm working on a new special, stuff that I'm trying to polish, and if I have to follow a joke that I know is not going to work, it's just making my job more difficult, and I don't really want to do that when I'm working on a special. You know what I mean? That's
No,
my
I get what you're saying. I get
Yeah.
what you're saying. I mean, I'm a different school guy.
yeah.
You know, with me, I don't care what you do in front of me, because again, you're barring my stage.
Right.
That's in my head.
So I told him this, and I was very cool with him. I told him like 5 or 6 times, and he kept doing it 5 or 6 times. So now whenever I get headline gigs, he asks me if he's opening. I just say, hey,
Not if you're doing the joke. I mean,
No.
if he's doing it 5 or 6 times after you've asked him not to do it,
yeah, it's like
you're the headliner. You're in charge.
yeah, but it's also like, dude, it's a lesson of you're shitting where you're eating now, because I've
Yeah.
told you not to do it, and
He's giving you no choice but to trim him.
yeah. And I think he's a great guy, but it's just one of those lessons in comedy that you kind of have to learn the hard way. Where I'm not saying he's never going to open for me again. I'm just saying, you know, when you get over this bump of putting an ego of what you think is going to work, because I know comedy. I've been doing
Yeah,
comedy.
but if he's done it 5 or 6 times and it's not working, don't be married to it. Move on.
Well, and like, if I'm being honest with you, I'm not saying it never worked. I mean, it worked a couple times, but what I'm saying is it's not something, it's kind of like how I've never had an autistic opener, because I can't really, it's not that I'm afraid to follow them. It's kind of like that. You know what I mean? It's like I'm going over another barrier that I don't really want to do, you know?
Right. No, I get what you're saying. It makes sense.
Yeah.
You know.
So my final question for you, Franchi, because I want to respect your time, is who is the hardest person you ever had to follow, and do you get scared following people, like when you were coming up?
I was real arrogant.
Really?
Yeah, I was very arrogant, and I think that's one of the reasons that it worked a lot for me was because I saw whoever went on before me as a challenge. Let's do this.
Right.
It's like a gunfighter. Let me at it,
Yeah.
and I do get, anxiety sometimes. I always get anxiety. That's one of the reasons why I think I might have something, because I realize it's anxiety and it's not the drugs.
Right.
But
It's the Barry Sobel syndrome.
yeah, and never ever will it be that. They have a patch for that, and you wear it on your arm. It's
Yeah,
the anti-Sobel.
it's called gel.
It's called with that show on To Catch a Predator. Anyway,
You said that, not me.
what?
I
He,
get it. I get
he,
it.
he wasn't on there, and I am so in trouble. I swear to God, if he actually even hears any of this, somebody will tell him he's gonna slap me. Um,
Doesn't he always do that though?
no, no. Uh,
Oh, he likes a fist.
he stop it. That's why he buys gloves. Anyway,
Did you take it from OJ? The glove
if
does
if
fit.
the glove don't fit, you can't be in me. And anyway,
I'm starting to think Kato Kalin was just a patsy and it was actually Barry Sobel.
I in all honesty, I wish him nothing but the best. But why does he have to come to my place to perform? You know. But I haven't seen him. I've only seen him in small places, and it's sad because it's just sad.
Because he's a small man.
But he's very flexible, apparently.
Especially
Stop. Just
especially
fucking stop. You don't have a filter, but I do. God damn it! Stop it.
Especially at Universal.
There's no reason to go there. I mean, now that Perry Kurtz is gone.
Too soon, Farachi. I liked Perry, but Perry
I liked him fine, but that Buick Grill liked him better.
Yeah. Perry was also one of those guys that I wish I was nicer to.
Really?
Yeah.
I was nice to him for you and everybody else.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
my God.
Perry and I Perry and I would get in arguments on stage. It was
Really?
never ever instigated by me.
Oh my
The minute
God.
I'd walk in, he'd start on me.
Yeah.
And then, I'd wait and then just lunge at him with a couple of lines and that shut him up.
See, I kind of get that though. Like, I kind of get how like, oh, you're respectful for the dead, but like, obviously you had some. But I kind of get that because when Rudy Morano died, like, everyone was sad and stuff, and it was like, let's be honest for a second, the guy was a piece of shit. You know what I mean? I do release the video too, Franchi.
100%
Like,
I agree with you.
yeah.
Here's the deal. He's dead. Whatever. I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
With all the shit that he did, there was anti-comic. With all the money that he would raise on pretend bullshit.
Yeah.
So he could take trips or whatever else. Somebody came up to me, and they know how I feel because I've never ever hidden that. I mean, I curb myself now because he's gone.
Right.
But somebody goes, "Aren't you going to go to the funeral or whatever?" I'm not two-faced.
Right.
If I don't like you, I ain't going to show up to network.
Exactly.
And I feel it's just
He was
friends that knew me, everybody
Yeah.
that knew me and knew my beef with him. because he would have a beef with me for nothing.
Right.
And it was the Ice House anniversary or whatever before they closed the first, and somebody and a couple of Fluffy's friends, my friends, would say, "Hey, there he is. Why don't you go say hi to him?" And I go, "I'll stab him,"
Right.
And then he was so he was so scared of me that even that day when he was there, because I'm not gonna be unprofessional and start a fight in the middle of a bunch of us. It's just not gonna happen.
You can't do it. Yeah.
I won't do it. I'm not gonna do that. But he was so scared that I was gonna say something. He left early,
Yeah.
and all I did was, "Hey, have a couple of drinks with us before you drive, please." Um,
That's a good one.
yeah,
No, he was like, I mean, that's a whole nother podcast, man. Like he was just, I
he
don't,
hurt a lot of people and pretended that he was the godfather. He's not a godfather to shit.
yeah,
You know?
he was a bully and he was, whatever. But when he passed, everyone was saying he was so great. It's like, I'm just
Even
thinking,
people I knew, they hated him. Oh, you know what? Fuck you.
yeah, it's like,
Be
dude,
honest. Don't be
yeah,
a liar. Don't be two-faced, people.
yeah, be honest. He was a piece of shit. He never paid people. He took people's money.
I think I wrote you once because you wrote something about him. And I think I wrote you something in solidarity because I think you were right of what you were saying.
did.
Yes.
Oh my God. Yes, you
Yes.
did.
And I gave you kudos.
Didn't you ask me to take it down or something?
I said to you, what I said to you was, in this business, you are absolutely 100% correct, but learn from my mistakes. Because I did a lot of that shit when I started.
Yeah.
And I don't want to see you get fucked by an entity that's a piece of shit,
Yeah.
And I think that's what I did. I wrote you that in private, because if I have something to say to anybody on Facebook, whatever, I do it on a personal level. I don't air it to everybody to read.
I'm trying to find the exact same message. Yeah. You definitely did though.
Yeah, no, I did. I do that with younger comics that
You might have texted it to me because
I think I texted it to
I
you.
don't see it on Facebook, but I remember you said something like, "Well,
Yeah.
Franchie, where can the folks at home follow and support you?"
Oh, the famous Chateau.
Comedy Chateau.
The Comedy Chateau.
That's actually a cool little room.
I love that place, and they're making it a little better. I mean, it's got its problems like any other place.
Yeah.
But I love going there. I'm not bothered by anything. I just do my stuff and I do new shit there all the time. And there's some really good comics that are there.
Yeah. He booked me once and he hasn't booked me back, but it's one, it goes back to the whole I need money or I need the proper time thing, and I just can't do it for 5 minutes.
No, I know, I get that. I'm lucky because a few of us are lucky we get a little longer. And I've been talking to him about trying to put a pro only show, and by pro meaning you have to be doing it for more than 5 years,
Right.
And making it so people get at least 10,
Yeah.
And then when the other shows are going on, because what it is that he's got the club is a great club. And Felix means well, but he needs to make money, period.
Yeah.
Or the place isn't going to be around. And
No.
I would rather not see it go down, and the haha's up the street, but they just had the.
I don't think it's going to go down. I think that
I hope not. But he has to make money, and the haha was what was it? It was protested last weekend because they had the leader of the Proud Boys doing a show there.
What? Seriously?
Yeah, seriously. So they were protesting.
Who's the leader of the
I forgot
Proud?
the guy's name. He looks Hispanic, if that makes any sense. But you're looking it up?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, let me know.
Enrique Tarocco?
Yes.
Is he a comedian now?
everybody wants a shot.
Oh my God.
There used to be so many little amounts of comics, and now everybody's a comedian. Or quote.
Hey, you know who I bet you would go see that show?
Very subtle.
Very subtle. He might say, "Hey, do you need an opening act?" Johnny Carson passed me without even seeing my comedy.
Yeah, just to shut him up.
So you're a regular at the Chateau, and
Yeah.
and I've
And then
seen
I do other shows and stuff like that. I get booked here, and I was just booked with Chrissy McHugh last night.
Yeah.
It was actually a great show. It was a beauty salon, right?
Yeah.
But we held like 50 people in there,
Oh, nice.
and it was packed.
Yeah.
And then Josh hosted. He does the dime with
Oh.
Adam Hunter. He's a very funny guy. I like his stuff. He has some very funny stuff. He did a great job of emceeing,
Yeah.
and every comic did well, and they were very appreciative. So that's a good thing,
All right.
But I do that, and I do the Ice House, and then
Long Beach Laugh Factory.
Yeah, Long Beach Laugh Factory, and then just look me up at Franchie San Pedro on Instagram, and you can find stuff. I appreciate you having me on. I mean,
it was fun. We finally nailed it.
Yeah. So, and I'm glad because now I have to deal with a virus that was given to me by some entity.
Yeah. The Reza Rifts virus.
Well, I'm pretty sure it was Barry Sobel in the bushes.
Yeah. Hey, it could have been.
Yeah, he doesn't really like bushes. But anyway.
Oh, like Bushman. You remember Bushman?
Yes, I do.
Holy Lord. Well, that's another podcast, Franchi.
All right, buddy.
I love you, man, and it was good to talk to you. And we'll see you. Hopefully, not in another 12 years. Hopefully, I'll see you around sooner.
I hope to see you a lot more.
All right, buddy. I'll talk to you later, man.
All right, Keith. Bye-bye.
All right, guys. That was the episode. Subscribe, rate, review. We'll see you guys next week on Reza Rifts.